games in the playoffs so far. How good was that to know that they called on you to get in there and to play?
Yeah, it was cool. I think it's just a testament to, I mean, a lot of guys could do what I did last night, just step up at the time and kind of help the team win. And I think it was a little bit of an advantage for me as well. You know, my body felt phenomenal going into last night's game, so I was really able to get out there and try and push the pace as much as possible. And yeah, there was some levels of advantage for me kind of sitting out a few weeks there. So that's the way it's gone. You know, it just kind of is what it is, and we roll with the punches. And, you know, whatever happens next game happens next game. But try to go into all games not expecting anything, but being ready for whatever happens.
I'm curious, so DeAndre was talking to you after you got Wilkins on the bench. What was he trying to do?
He was just telling me the tendencies. DA's had a lot of experience guarding Jock, and he's done a really good job. And he was just telling me, this is what he's trying to get to. So to know that, that's the first time I've really matched up with Jock in my whole career. So he was just letting me know where he wants to go. And in the moment, you typically know those things, but it's good to have it reinforced at the time because it's a little guesswork when he can do it all. So it's really about just trying to hit home what his tendencies were and what I was trying to take away.
How important is that? What does that say about him that when he's having a rough night like that, he's able to collect himself and still be there for you?
Look, it's tough for me to sit back and just be okay with all the slander that's thrown DA's way. People are making him out to be like he's a selfish individual who is playing terribly all the time and hurts the Phoenix Suns, but it's DeAndre Ayton. Like DA's had 30 and 20 games on the regular for a month at a time for us this season. He's held down some big time areas of games for us throughout the year, and I'm kind of sick of hearing about everyone shitting on him non-stop. It's not. I know it comes with the business, and I know that that's your guys' job, but it's other people's right to say what they want to say. But DA's been fucking great for us, and for him to do that for me when he could have very easily been pissing and pissed and moaning about I've come out of the game with 7 minutes to go. But who said anything about that? Who said anything about DA coming up to me and being like, I'm going to take myself out of my own situation here and really reinforce what Jock's tendencies are and all, encourage me a lot more because we're in a man's league and a lot of the time the encouragement is left out of this thing. So DA's a great teammate, he's a great locker room guy, and I hear time and time again about how this guy doesn't do that, and it's just bullshit. DA does that for Biz all the time. If you watch when me and Biz are in the game and we do something well, DA is the first dude off that bench to stand up and clap, and that speaks volume about his character, but people seem to just totally forget about that. So that's been something that DA stood on the whole year, and he's continued to do that for other players around him, especially myself and Biz, is encourage us in times where he's maybe not having the best night, and he's allowed to not have a great night. We're basketball players and we're playing against a two-time MVP right now. Like, it's tough. It's not a fucking easy feat. So, I thought that last night is just DA being DA, and I think he's a great locker room guy, and I know a lot more about that than a lot of people do. So, that was no surprise for me.
A lot of the criticism about DA, obviously, guys, phenomenally physically gifted. The talent is obviously. There's criticism on his motive. There's those from a lot of areas.
DA's got an incredible motive. I haven't seen an athlete like DA in a long time. Sometimes the way the game flows, he gets a little bit frustrated, and all power to him. Like he's allowed to let that affect him sometimes, but we try and keep on him about proving why he's got that max contract and why he's #1 draft pick, and he has all the talent in the world to really go out there and do whatever he wants to do. So I understand a little bit of it, but at the same time, it's a tough transition sometimes for him. Coming from being a focal point of an offense, and now we've got Kevin Durant and Devin Booker putting up damn near 50 points a night. He's got to change his game. So there's a little bit of a growing pain process in that, but same time, he's still got so many good things for us. He's a great guy on the bench. He's, locker room guy. There's so many positives that people seem to just leave out and blatantly ignore, and they just want to just harp on the negatives. And I know part of that is trying to push him to be better, but man, sometimes the guy just needs to be left alone. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. So, yeah.
Jock, when you checked that game for the last 6 minutes, it looked like you went over to the assistant coaches and not able to double check. Is that what you were doing? Were you surprised when you were that game?
Yeah, man. There's so many times this year that they've said Josh and I thought it's Jock, and I've jumped up and it's not my name at all. So I was like, yo, did he say my name or not? So that's all that was. I was just trying to figure out if he said Jock or Josh.
And then the mindset immediately flips like, yep, we're going.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like I was in a really good space mentally, prepped, ready to roll the whole night. This whole series I've been watching these boys guard Jock and feeling like we could have been pushing him a little bit harder. So, I was pissed off a little bit in practice just coming into that. Not at anyone in particular, but just pissed off that we weren't capitalising on some opportunities that were there. And I felt like that was just my mentality all last night. Was don't try to do too much, but be very, very good at what those 2 or 3 focal points that I was focusing on.
With the pace that you guys were playing with last night, how much does that help your game specifically? How much you like to sprint and fill lanes?
Yeah, that plays to my strengths a lot. I can definitely do a lot more than just the kind of the nitty gritty work, but this year especially I've enjoyed doing that nitty gritty work, and it's a lot of fun, and playing that role with guys like KD and Book and CP and all the rest of them. So I've found a little niche in doing those kinds of things, and I'm just going to stick to that for the time being.
Is there any of a different feel from playing in the first 3.5 quarters of a game to being in crunch time of a playoff game?
If you don't put any thought to it, no. But there have been times throughout the year, I think back when we played the Pelicans or something like that, and I thought about like, holy crap, like I'm in a crunch time moment here, and it affected me a little bit. So yeah, it's unfamiliar territory in the NBA, but I played in some pretty big games in the Olympics and stuff, and been there in crunch time, so it's nothing new to me. Cool.
Thanks, Jock.
Cheers, guys.